Okay, everybody, so I'm going to do this really quick. This is a review for the Frock the Vote episode, the 9th episode so far this season. If you don't know why I'm wearing a hoodie, then you obviously have not been watching the news lately. It's a statement. Alright, anyway, I'm going to try to do this video all in one take, so I may make a lot of mistakes, but bear with me. Alright. The episode was preceded, the Frock the Vote competition was actually preceded with a mini challenge where they had to design some shoes. Don't really quite get how it dealt with politics. I know that they were platform shoes that they were making, and some leading into their party platform. But of course, Fifi O'Hara won. Fifi O'Hara tends to win most of the mini challenges, so that's not really surprising. Fifi wins all the mini challenges, and Sharon Needles wins all the main challenges. And I agree with everybody on YouTube that says Sharon Needles is definitely going to win. I mean, she's won so many main challenges now. It's hard to see any reason why she would not win. If they give it to somebody else at this point who's only won like 1 or 2 challenges, it's just not fair, because Sharon has won quite a bit. So Sharon's definitely winning this, so I think that's certain. Alright, the presidential debate was actually a very detailed challenge. They had Dan Savage, the advice columnist who was there, and he was giving them some suggestions on their party platform. Chad Michaels tried a different approach, had these like pom-pom things on her head. To me, it didn't work. I didn't like it. In fact, I thought Chad Michaels was probably the flattest and weakest that Chad has ever been in this whole competition. It wasn't for the fact that Chad Michaels is a very well-known professional in the drag world. I think Chad Michaels probably would have been up for elimination today, but she managed to squeak that one out. Fifi, as the winner of the mini challenge, you know, there really wasn't that much that she got. She really didn't luck out with this mini challenge win. But she really didn't get rewarded with anything really for winning the mini challenge, but she didn't seem to care. She was trying some auditory sabotage on all the other contestants in the workroom when they had to prepare a speech, they had to prepare a slogan, because they were running for political office. And Fifi was she was burping, she was singing, just trying to distract the other girls. She even tried some mental terrorism by trying to stoke this fear into the other ones that she was in debate class in school, so she was prepared. She was ready to go. She was definitely going to win this challenge, she said. Yeah, she just kind of goofed off, really. That's what it seemed like to me. It didn't seem like she was taking it that seriously. Now, Dan Savage did not like Fifi's Socialism for Drag Queens party platform. Didn't like it at all. Dita just looked like a deer lost in headlights. Now, Dita kept saying that she wasn't a very political person. So, I'm pretty sure that Dita was probably one of those people that just sat on their hands during the last election cycle when, you know, the no-hate campaign began, where they overturned the marriage law. It's things like that that are important in your personal life that are involved in politics. Social injustices, it's, you know, marriage rights, it's gay rights, it's drag rights. I mean, it is very important. So if you're one of those people that just say, oh, it doesn't affect me, so I don't really like to wade into politics, you gotta rethink that, because politics has a direct impact on every single person's life. But anyway, on to the debate. I felt like an unintentional racist just watching it, because Fifi O'Hara tried to channel the ghost of Sarah Palin's failed political career That was the character that she was trying to portray, a Sarah Palin dumb character. I mean, she stayed in character pretty much by the fact that she didn't seriously prepare in the workroom, because I think Sarah Palin probably just burped and goofed off and hummed to herself before that Barbara Walters interview in 2008 too, so I think they have a lot in common, actually. And then when Fifi made the spot the Russian joke, I was like, okay, that was funny. You know, you can laugh. She made a Sarah Palin reference, so it was funny. But she just tucked that train and just drove right off the track. When she said, I am so glad that the help can run alongside me in this campaign, and she looked at Latrice, and she looked over at Dita, the look on their faces looked like they were about ready to throttle her. It was funny. I laughed. But like I said, it was one of those those awkward moments where you laugh just because it's awkward, not so much that it's funny. And I know Fifi was talking on Twitter last night that seemed like white people were getting really offended by her joke. And that it was just a joke and they needed to really get over it. But man, that joke just it went too far, and I'm proud of Latrice and Dita for handling themselves a lot better, and I'm surprised that RuPaul just didn't stop it right there at that point and say, you might want to dial this back a little bit. I'm surprised RuPaul didn't directly put Fifi into the bottom two just for that type of behavior. Because it was just like the Snatch game all over again. It was that type of behavior. And then Fifi took out all these props at the end. Was putting hearts all over. Oh, hi Fifi. Was taking all these hearts and putting on on all the podiums for the other contestants. Well, Sharon Needles, I want to say, did do very well. I liked her. She did look very presidential in her outfit there at the debate. And I loved her runway. Her runway was the same look that she had in the pre-season cast interview. I'm getting off track here. Go back to Fifi. When she was putting those hearts all over the podium, and she gets to Latrice's, and she was like, I'm sorry, I didn't have a heart big enough for you. That weight joke, oh, if I was Latrice, if Latrice got that mad at the Snatch game, I'm surprised Latrice didn't get really pissed off at this to see her walk off the stage. I probably would have if I was her. Sharon, as I've already stated, already won this challenge. You know, she's pretty much a shoo-in to win the season. I liked it when Fifi, this was kind of fitting with the racial jokes that she was making. Fifi came out on the runway dressed all in white, which was just a perfect setup for RuPaul's joke. Are you courting the white people vote? Based on that joke. And I mean, I thought that was a good comeback. I loved that. Dita was accused of playing word salad, basically, with her debate performance, because Dita was very, very bad. Dita deserved to go home this week. Like I said, I wouldn't have put Latrice in the bottom. Granted, her runway look was not too great, and her debate performance was pretty flat. But I thought Chad Michaels' performance in the debate was pretty flat. And, you know, Chad looked great on the runway. But Chad always looks great on the runway, so you can't really use that as... I think Latrice did better than Chad. So I think Chad should have at least gotten to experience the bottom two. She shouldn't have gone home. Definitely Dita should have gone home, but... But it looked like if they were going to vote for their presidential candidate, then Santino Rice would have voted for Fifi O'Hara. RuPaul, Dan Savage, and Michelle Visage would have voted for Sharon Needles, and Mr. Absolute Man, I don't even know what his name was, would have voted for Chad Michaels. Now, Sharon's definitely going to get the popular vote, but the hanging Chad in all of this, pun intended, is definitely Chad Michaels. Chad Michaels, just the fact, like I said, that she's a professional in the industry. That's probably going to be enough to get Chad Michaels to the top 2 of the season. Now, Chad has not won quite as many challenges. She's won a couple of challenges, but she's had a long dry streak lately, and Sharon has continued to win. So I think Chad Michaels will be in the top 2 for certain, and could be the spoiler this season. I think RuPaul probably went into this season already deciding that Chad Michaels was her favorite to win. Because, you know, there was rumors last year that Raja knew RuPaul outside of the show, and that's how Raja won. Well, Chad Michaels basically picks up all of the girls off of the show and puts them in her dance review. So, Chad Michaels technically shouldn't have even qualified to be on this season. But, not that I don't like Chad Michaels. I love Chad Michaels, but... Now, when Dita and Latrice had to lip-sync for their lives, it was almost a shoo-in that Dita was going home and Latrice was going to stay. Not that Latrice was a very good lip-syncer. It just looked like Dita was just doing Tybo out there. I don't know what Dita was doing. It was just like aerobics exercise. It wasn't really a lip-sync. Now I'm tired. But at the end, RuPaul... I kind of suspected this was going to happen this season. But just like last season, when RuPaul allowed Michelle Visage and I think it was Billy B to make the decision about who should come back, Carmen Carrera was the one that was brought back last season, lasted all of one episode, then went back home. Well, RuPaul said that she was going to give it to Michelle Visage. And I don't think she mentioned Santino Rice. I don't even think she gave that option to Santino. She put it all on Michelle Visage to select someone to come back, just like last year. And then she reads through a list of all the eliminated contestants. And guess what? Willem was listed right there at the end. Now, if Willem was really disqualified for a rule violation, Willem should not have been allowed to come back. That tells me Willem is very likely going to come back. And it also proves my theory that Willem was just a plot device. From the very beginning. And that the elimination last week was just that. It was just an elimination. It was not a disqualification. Willem didn't do anything terribly wrong, and Willem could possibly be back. I have heard, just like everyone else, that Elisa Summers could come back. And I had read pre-season that Elisa would come back. It kind of gels with when Elisa was seen in our local airport in Tampa. I think Elisa may be coming back, based on the timing of when she was seen in the airport, but it's beside the point. Michelle Visage did like Elisa Summers, thought she was fierce, loved her outfit week 1 in the RuPaul's, and nearly everyone, as the season went on, agreed that RuPaul kind of made a mistake in keeping Jiggly Caliente. Because every week, Jiggly Caliente was making the same mistake. So Elisa Summers was sent home because they just liked Jiggly Caliente, despite the fact that that outfit was atrocious week 1. And just like Kenya's letter on Untucked, Jiggly should have went home week 1. Therefore, that would surmise that Elisa Summers should not have gone home week 1. So if Michelle Visage truly thinks that somebody should be given a chance to come back based on an unfairness of the competition, then Elisa Summers will be coming back. But Willem, I think, will be the one that will come back. And everybody misses Willem. I mean, Willem was funny. Willem was a highlight of the show. So let's face it. Even if you didn't like Willem, Willem was a highlight of the show. And there is something missing on the show now that she's gone. Especially now that Fifi and Sharon seem to be getting along better. And they had a bonding moment on Untucked about bullying. They actually had a bonding moment. And I liked that. I thought that was cute. And I like that Fifi can actually look at Sharon now and kind of find common ground with her. I think they needed that all along. But glad the air conditioning's off again. But yeah, I also suspect that Kenya Michaels might come back because Kenya was doing very well in the competition. It was that 1 week, the Snatch Game, that behavior that she exhibited, that got her kicked off. If I'm not mistaken, she was not in the bottom 2 up until that week. That was the first week she was in the bottom 2, and she got the axe. So a lot of people might say that that was very unfair to kick out a favorite in that manner as well. So I think it's either going to be Elisa, Kenya, or Willem. But who do you think it will be?